Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to On The Go with Joe. You joined me here today from the Alton Towers resort. Decided to come up here on Bank Holiday Sunday, if you can believe it. I don't know why I thought to do that. I must be mad. I've already just pulled into the car park and I've already seen like thousands and thousands of families walking in there right now. So brace for the day. Yeah, I haven't been to Alton Towers since I was a teenager, so I'm excited to see what's changed, ride all the rides, ride all the roller coasters, rate them on terms of, where my favorites are. I remember Nemesis back in the day being an awesome roller coaster, and they've just retracked it, and it's now been known as Nemesis Reborn. So yeah, keen to ride that and see what the situation is with Alton Towers. Yeah, thanks for joining me, and let's go for a ride.
Situation in our hands. This is Dr. Haldane. I'm a genome scientist in the Phalanx laboratory team. Listen, you must not go near Nemesis.
Okay, first ride on Nemesis Reborn completed. Just stopped off for a coffee afterwards, although I don't really need it now. That's one way to wake you up. What a ride, honestly. Just the aesthetics of it, the theming, the storyline behind it, even the queues and experience now, which is fantastic. When you're going up that lift hill into, like, it's a slow lift hill, so you really get all the build up to it's insane. Then you go into that first corkscrew, and then honestly the aggression of it is fantastic. Brilliant coaster. Probably going to ride it a little bit later on today. Queue wasn't that bad either, only 20 minutes or so, so one of the first rides of the day. Yeah, brilliant. I think that's going to be, start as you mean to go on, that's going to be hard to top, I think. Just come into the Nemesis shop here, and they've got a big detailed model of the monster here. The Phalanx, I think it's called. Yeah, awesome. Really cool stuff. Okay, about to go on Galactica. I remember this when it used to be called Air. It was a very good ride back when it first opened. Like, just looking at the track now, it looks a bit run down compared to the likes of Nemesis. I mean, I know it would because Nemesis is a retrack, but yeah, it's looking a little bit worse for wear this ride now.
Journey to the launch portal will take just under a minute. Then, in a split second, you will be in space.
Okay, just got off my second roller coaster of the day in the form of Galactica, second in Forbidden Valley as well. What are my thoughts? I really enjoyed it still. Like, I remember this when it was Air back in the day. I think the stations and the ride itself are looking a little bit run down now, to be honest. Like, you can see like the track looks a little bit not corroded, but just looks a little bit dirty. The station itself as well is a little bit bare, but yeah, I think I preferred it when it was Air. Now I know I think it got a retheme with like virtual reality back in the day, but that's now gone. So like, there's not much galactic theming to it. but that said, you know, when you're actually on the ride, it's still a great ride. I like a flying coaster. They're not my favourite type of coaster, but I do love them still. You know, they're just fun to be on, really. Yeah, it's still a good ride. Okay, so I just got off 2 different rides there. So first I just went on Nemesis Subterra. Interesting thing that. Sort of like a ride, but also like this immersive experience. You know, the whole story is that you're entering this flank space, and that they have found an egg of the Nemesis creature, and you're going to view this egg, and then chaos ensues. Yeah, I swear for theming it's very, very good. Yeah, definitely got to do it once, that's for sure. Quite a long wait for the experience, but like I say, you've got to do it once. Next one I went on was the Curse of Alton Manor, which is like a dark ride, slow moving dark ride. That's not actually that slow moving, but yeah, lots of different scenes in that. It's quite scary, I'd say, especially if you're a young child. If you've got young children, I'd be a bit wary about taking them on that. It's definitely one for sort of older kids, I would think. But lots of different scenes in that. I wasn't expecting it to last that long. It was yeah, it was very, very good. There was some scenes in that which I thought were very, very clever. Like there's a scene where the cart's going along almost like this like mirror image where you can see yourself at first, and then there's a creepy girl in it. It's hard to explain, but yeah, very, very good. Yeah, I rate that ride actually. I think as far as dark rides go in the UK, that's one of the better ones I've been on. That's a great bit of theming. Okay, so just got off Wicker Man, and I have to say that's gone very near the top. Nemesis Reborn still up there, but Wicker Man, that's a very close second at the moment. Wow, what a ride. I think that just goes to show really that, you know, you could build an amazing ride without like all these inversions and things like that. Like that is just pure adrenaline, just from speed and the sensations, the ricketing as you're going down it. Yeah, what a ride that was. And the theming's fantastic as well. Like obviously the burning Wicker Man big statue that you see at the front, but throughout the ride as well, you know, you're going through all these smoke effects and everything. Fantastic ride, absolutely brilliant. But typical British fashion, it did start raining just as we were getting on the ride, but I think it added to the drama a little bit actually. Yeah. Now, yeah, I mean, funny this, I went on this day typically because it was showing sunshine, and yesterday was not. It's been a rain yesterday. Exact opposite happened, as you can see. Okay, so back to back, just did all the rides in the X Sector section of the park. So that is the Smiler and Oblivion. Went on the Smiler first. Intense ride. We went from a ride that had no inversions whatsoever to the ride that has the most inversions of any roller coaster in the world. But does more of mean better? It's a good ride. It's very, very intense. Obviously, all those inversions make it intense. It's a little bit rough. I'm not going to lie. The overhead restraints I thought were a little bit rough for all those inversions. But yeah, did I enjoy it? Of course I did. Yeah, brilliant ride. Oblivion as well. So pretty much it was a walk-on with Oblivion with the fast track pass that I got. I got the silver pass today, by the way. I didn't say that at the start. Well worth getting for busy days like today. Obviously, the Smiler I waited for about 10-15 minutes, I think, with the fast track, which was nothing compared to the 80-minute queue in the standby line. And then Oblivion, like I said, just pretty much walked onto it. Oblivion, that was here when I came here last all those years ago. Absolute classic of a ride. It's very, very simple, just a drop coaster, but it's not just a drop coaster. The way it just goes, it descends into that mist and you can't see where you're going. It's a brilliant ride. So just got off Rita and 13 down in the Dark Forest section of the park. Yeah, two good coasters again. Rode on 13 Thirst. I think it fits the Dark Forest theme more than Rita does. I remember Rita when it was Queen of Speed. It's a whole racing coaster theme, which in my opinion doesn't meet the Dark Forest vibe. I know the logistics of things, you know, you only got certain places to put stuff and everything, but yeah, I think maybe a re-theme of that at some point down the line might fit that a little bit better. 13 obviously it's got like a vertical drop section of the coaster, which is, you know, makes that coaster unique in the park. Overall though, it's not my favorite in the park. I think there are superior offerings. Rita again, very similar story, like past that initial launch, which is fantastic. You honestly, you feel the adrenaline going when that happens and the lights go out and everything. Good coaster, but yeah, bit of a one-trick pony, but definitely worth doing if you're going to Alton Towers. Yeah, they're must-dos on this trip. I came all the way up here and I didn't even talk about what's behind me. These are like the Alton Towers gardens, which it's very, very tranquil and nice up here. I think on a more sunny day, it'd be a nice place if you had a bit of a picnic or you got some food. It'd be a nice place to come and sit. Yeah, very nice up here. What I didn't realise they have here is an aquarium, which is amazing. I love an aquarium.
I was swashbuckling away across the seas. Aboard, we ran ship in search of treasure.
And that is it. Now back at the car. Quite a long walk back to my car from the actual park exit. Yeah, it's about, I think my watch timed it as about a mile. So, and just started to rain as well. But, you know, British weather, if a little bit of rain spoils your fun, then you'll never have any fun here in the UK. So it is what it is. But overall, fantastic day out at Alton Towers. Really, really enjoyed it. It was weird. I haven't been here, again, I think it's probably about 15. I was in my mid-teens that I came here last. So it's weird how much I remembered of it. I remembered all the layout, some of the rides. You know, some things were here, some things were changed a little bit since I was here, like a re-theme, etc. But yeah, overall, brilliant day out. Thoroughly enjoyed all of it. Managed to get on most things. The only thing I didn't really manage to get on was the Spinball Wizard roller coaster, but managed to get on all the other coasters. So I guess, where do I think they rank in terms of rides here? So I think my coaster at the bottom of the list would probably be Rita, just simply because it doesn't really fit the location it's in. It's got some like tangled vines on its racing theme, but doesn't really meet the dark forest area that well. Also, it's a bit of a one trick pony. That initial launch is phenomenal. Obviously, you know, well, I don't have hair. If I did, I could imagine it'd be a bit swept back. But yeah, the acceleration's enormous. Great fun. But yeah, beyond that, doesn't really offer too much, and I don't think the theming's quite on for the area. Next would probably be 13, actually, in the same sort of vein. Theming's much better with 13. It fits that dark forest atmosphere, which is awesome. And, you know, I love the drop element of the coaster as well. Really, really awesome. It adds something a bit different to all the other coasters in the park. But again, that's kind of the thing that keeps it at that high, like just slightly higher than Rita. Beyond that, it doesn't really, again, offer too much. It's a very sort of standard coaster beyond that drop. Then probably I would have to go for Galactica. Galactica is, again, a great ride. Loved it when it was air. And to be honest, there's not really a lot of galactic theming with it, to be honest. Like, I know there was a virtual reality thing when it got rethemed to Galactica from air a few years ago. But that virtual reality thing's gone now. So beyond a little video within the station, there's very little theming there for it to be galactic. But that said, it's still a great ride. I do love a flying coaster, and that was tremendous fun. That's why it ranks there. After that, I would probably go for the Smiler. The Smiler, you know, is a great ride. Loads and loads of inversions. I remember, like, honestly, when I was on it, I got dizzy after the first section, because there's like two sort of sections to it. You got your first drop, your first section goes up a lift hill, then there's loads of inversions, and then you hit a second lift chain that goes vertical, and then more inversions. By the time I got to that second one, my head was all over the place spinning. Like, I was discombobulated. Great ride. Absolutely loved it. I think the thing that stops that from being higher, the Smiler, beyond the music, oh my god, the music is just, it gets on your nerves. I could not work at the Smiler if I worked for Alton Towers. I would leave every day infuriated. No, the ride itself, it's a little bit too rough for me. I mean, I know you're going to get roughness with inversions, but it's the restraints, they're a little bit too rough for the ride. Other than that, it would have been placed a lot higher. So yeah, the Smiler comes then next on my list. After that, again, I'd stick it with the X sector. I'd say Oblivion. Oblivion's a great ride. Like, I remember that when I came here back in the day. Maybe it's a bit of nostalgia that's causing that to rank quite highly, because it is quite a simple ride. It's a drop coaster that drops into a tunnel, but just the simpleness and the sensations that come with that when you're actually plummeting down into that drop, and you get the mist come through your face, and you realize how deep it actually is beyond what you could see at the surface level. Like, most of the drops actually below it. It's just a great ride, and yeah, I'll always have a soft spot for Oblivion, I think, as well. So that's Oblivion. Beyond that, we go into my top two. Coming in second on the list, the penultimate one, would be Wicker Man. I loved Wicker Man. I thought it was great. I think the theming is fantastic. When you see that big Wicker Man ram's head with all the fire effects inside it and the smoke, it's just a sight to behold. When you're actually in the queue as well, like, I mean, you can hear the wooden roller coaster, so they make a lot of noise. Yeah, it's just a brilliant ride. And then when you're actually on it as well, I haven't ridden too many wooden roller coasters in my time. A lot of the ones I've ridden are the steel ones, but there's just something about a wooden roller coaster, the sensation of speed that you get, and yeah, you just feel like you're going like 100 miles an hour. In actuality, it's not tremendously fast, but yeah, Wicker Man, brilliant ride, brilliant theming throughout. I think that's why it ranks highly on my list. And coming into the top spot now, so we've got, I mean, it's the only one I haven't said so far, so I think you guys know what it is. It's Nemesis Reborn. It was the first one I did of the day. I said it was going to be hard to take it off the top of the list, and yeah, it's still the top. that ride is just brilliant. I know it's the newest one in the park. It rides very, very smoothly. BMM, inverted coaster. Yeah, I think just the theming, the whole experience, the cue music as well, that like really dramatic music. You've got your helicopters around and everything. It's just brilliant, and I love the storyline as well. I think I said it a little bit wrong earlier. It's the Nemesis monster and the organization that are trying to control it. I think is the Phalanx. I definitely butchered that as well. But yeah, it's brilliant. The ride itself, it's just like I remember it. That when you go through the up the lift hill, and then you hit, as soon as you're out there, you hit that corkscrew. Aggressive banking. It's so aggressive, but like with the Dree track, it's so smooth as well. Yeah, it's a brilliant ride. That's why it ranks on the top of my list. So that was it, really. I'd highly recommend Alton Towers. If you've never been before, it's a brilliant theme park. I think out of all the Merlin parks I've been to, so I'm lucky enough to have been to Chessington, Thorpe Park, Alton Towers. I think they all have their own individual characteristics, and you know, I think that's what makes them all kind of unique. But I think Alton Towers, it has something very special about it. Beautiful place to walk around. Yeah, if you haven't been to Alton Towers, I thoroughly recommend a visit. So that was it from me today. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, and join me on the next adventure. Thanks for watching.